Welcome, everybody. Welcome to BeoTalk. What is it? 176.
I know.
I think actually last was it Wednesday? Was Batman Day? So we're gonna
What do you
do
mean?
this whole episode like I'm Batman.
Yeah, it sounded like freaking. I'm hungover anyways already, so I have that voice.
But it needs
Fuck's
to be
sake.
deeper. And
More
anyway,
Karen-y.
yes. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Links to all our channels and shit are down below. Also, if you want to become a channel member, do it for both of us because yeah, we need it.
I don't have one, so
Yeah.
it's very simple.
You get a discount. You get the third Willy for free.
God, I should just make my channel about Karens in the building now. So I should
Also, I'll make you both Thor tonight. Swing that banhammer if needed. If you're Brian and you're still like, ooh, my fives, that's fine.
My fives are gone finally. I think it was last week also that I said it, but yeah, they're gone. Yes. And the nines are next, baby.
You found a way to ship them?
No, it's funny how the fives got sold because my good friend now and a good client, he wanted them for his garage in Kelowna because it's got like what it was stash or whatever it's called, like those garage buildings.
Mm-hmm.
They can put your cars in and such. And his buddy like is absolutely in love with fives, and we were having a cigar and we're discussing it, like so when because like with the current bollocks that's happening, I can't really travel to BC anymore because I don't have the papers. And so we were figuring it out, and then he texted his buddy, and buddy basically like straight up hard on, right? It was like, I want those, dude, I'll take him, blah blah blah, whatever. So he sends back a picture, the iconic picture with the 9000 vertically mounted with those blue CDs and the fives below him. And so now I have to get him a 9000 somehow. And so
I see one behind you.
No, I'm not selling mine, dude. Are you out of your mind? So, yeah, he said, okay, you know what? I'll just take the nines because it's still just a garage, right? And I know how the speakers sound, and I already have a set, like that's the set that we listen to when we smoke cigars in the cigar room. So yeah, he's gonna get the nines, and quite honestly, they fit in my back of my Audi better than the fives if I have to drive them over to Kelowna. So that's where those are gonna be going. But I don't know with what, because I haven't really discussed with him what player does he want. Maybe I'll get him a core, maybe fucking Beosound 5, maybe the moment. But yeah, my goal is to sell Moment for a little more than Sandeep did, just so I have a middle finger to wave. And that will happen. I guarantee you that. That's gonna happen.
Well, also you have an easier time over there because prices are generally a little bit higher.
Yeah, it is. I love the new emoji. That is fucking hilarious.
Well,
is it Mr. Kim?
Yes, because dear leader.
I
saw a Instagram story about a guy who went into his hairdresser and he said, "Can you do a Kim Jong-un on me?" And then he actually just did the hair completely like him, and it was amazing. And he was like funny. All laughing out. It was quite fun.
Was it a Chinese guy or
yeah,
I guess Korean guy?
Yeah,
freaking hilarious. But yeah.
And before everybody says, well, every Korean guy looks the same, I went to a Porsche event this week, and there was a Chinese guy, and we had a conversation, and then I said, we were talking about a fellow comrade, and he was like, well, I'm not sure if it's him because all your whites looks the same.
Yeah, to them we look like, when Neo meets all the agents in the rainy alley there, right? Where all the agents are the same. So it's but you know what? I found it too when I moved to Canada. I'm like, holy fuck, I can't tell all these people. But the weirdest thing that I actually found when I moved here is that it's like the doppelgangers of people that you know in your city. Like you it's like, holy fuck, there's Larry. But it's a person living completely different, like there's a homeless Larry, but now he's walking across the street in a suit like he's a fucking CEO of a goddamn oil company of some sorts. Like It's just so weird, like how the faces look alike, and how much faces look like to you from where you were prior to, I guess. It's weird. But yeah, I fucking
When
had
I
a
was
Kim
in
Jong-un.
Japan, I actually heard this literally said to me, like, all you Europeans look alike.
Well, to me, all the Chinese and Asian look alike. Now, being in Canada for 20 years, you kind of start to like pick the nuances, and
I was semi happy about it because when you're outside in like Kobe or Tokyo, the only like European person you see was David Beckham on all these giant billboards. It's like, I look like that? That's amazing.
I don't know. I stopped guessing because I'm always wrong, and I don't carry an eye chart, so I don't really know how to tell, and I just quit telling. It's just, to me, they're all Chinese.
Oh, bloody hell. Your haircut is cheaper than the whole record player thing.
What is?
So at 175 likes, Henrik will get a Kim
Jong-un's haircut. Holy cow! Oh, that'd be some radical shit, dude. Your son would freak too. He wouldn't even know you without the beard.
No.
Nope.
No, that'd be some serious shit.
Speaking of the record player, you're the only one that has a record player that's eligible for this.
Because I lost a bet on a stupid YouTube channel called BeoTalk.
Yeah, well, I didn't. I only thought of it. You agreed to it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Bang & Olufsen had their 3 days of design this week, and they announced that they will refurb a 4000 series Beogram for
€5,000.
5,000 euros.
Yeah,
which
it's
is
not
a
cheap.
Small amount. I mean, I had to call a Danish dealer called Bremdal Radio and TV because they have been doing this for decades. I mean, they have been renovating these kind of record players, like just not only the 4000 series, but all Beograms for decades. And to just talk about what's the difference between the crazy price tag of 5,000 euros compared to what he charges. And then I was like, Bang & Olufsen is advertising that they will pick up the record player at your home. And they do too, the dealer. And they have been doing this for years. So he was saying to me, like, think of this as we do a back rub massage on your record player when it doesn't work. We will loosen everything, make it work, and make it play nice again. While the Bang & Olufsen treatment is like a spa treatment. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Mm. So just to quickly interrupt for a second, do they 3D print or reprint the parts that are broken? Because usually there's a little mechanism with a little spring in those turntables that does wear out over time. Because
I don't know.
So
I don't know.
Okay, never mind.
I saw one at 3 days of design, which was refurbished from Bang & Olufsen, and the first thing that caught my eye was that, on the 4004 and 2, you have like the start, next track, stop, 33 and 45, whatever buttons. And those buttons were like used on the refurbished one, which I would think that should be cleaned out, like on the anniversary edition, but it isn't. And when I look at mine, I don't have any. You can't see where people have touched on the touch plates.
Chicken fingers.
I thought that Bang & Olufsen would actually clean that up, but they didn't on the one they had in the showcase in the showroom, which was kind of a bummer in my opinion.
Yeah.
But they do give you a new lid.
I kind of want them to sell the lid by itself, honestly, because that's one of the first things to actually go over time.
But do you want to pay 5,000 euro for a Raya and a lid?
Well, it's
No.
a bit more than that.
I
Because
know. But all the other pots, I mean, we have had dealers in Denmark for decades who have done this refurbishment of the Beograms, and not only the 4000 series. I know that Bang & Olufsen is going to do a bit more, but as I know, they don't do anything with the aluminium anyways. They clean it up, but they don't
recoat it or anything.
Recoat it or anything. So
I
it's
don't think
just,
you can. I think
they do the woodwork, which most of the dealers that does this refurbishment can do too, but I don't.
So what are they actually reusing out of that? Like, because to replace, if they were to refurbish it properly, right, with all the buttons, then you might as well just make a bloody new turntable.
I kind of agree, but what I also talked with the guy about, the guy from Bremdale Radio, he also said that, I mean, there is another perspective that you need to have in mind, and that is that if you get a record player from your uncle, grandpa, whatever, it has some personal
They're
value.
banking on nostalgia, basically.
Exactly.
And I said that last podcast as well.
I went to the 3 days of design event at the B&O store where Matt was talking about this. I have a video coming out hopefully next week about it, where he's gonna tell everything about it, and he's gonna show the whole new store. I actually told Bang & Olufsen, why don't you make stores as homes, because that would make so much more sense.
That's
so
right.
for once they actually made a home store, which was made by it was like a home, inspired by a home, which was very nice to see the products in their right elements compared to a normal hi-fi store. So that was quite cool. And I mean, the price tag is very, very large on this, in my opinion.
Yes, very much so.
Compared to what you're actually getting.
Yeah, I said the same last week. Like a friend here, BeoBuddy from the forum, and was it Dylan or Martin from the forum as well? And I think he's Norway or Sweden. They do this for like a fifth.
I was gonna say this is tops $2,000, like in B&O money, I would pay.
I think if the price point was 2,000 euros, I would actually consider sending in my 4004.
Yeah, well, one of the things you now lose is the data channel, because it's now USB-C, isn't it?
You lose the data channel because you also, the whole Raya unit inside of it will make it RCA, and yes, you'd lose the data channel on it.
But there's no like Mozart platform on it or anything. It's just
nope, nothing at all. And
I think that's a backwards deal.
I have to say, if they reconsidered and put in Network Link or the Mozart platform into the record player, I would pay the 5,000 euros.
Because it makes complete fucking sense then.
Yes, then I would pay the 5,000 euros, because that, I mean, the whole thing about the 3 days of design today, on Thursday, was that we're gonna put some new life into your old products. And it was the same with the level. It's based on small units that you can take out and put in some new units, which makes sense. But what about getting the old stuff into the new era? Like, let's put in a core into the
turntable, I guess.
The turntable. I mean, if they
CDs are not going to come back. The 9,000 would be a bad investment for them to do anything with, in my opinion.
Yes.
But because it is a nostalgic piece and blah blah blah, but the CD market is completely dead.
It's gone. So that wouldn't make any sense. Dead. But they sell vinyl as crazy in Denmark at the moment. So if they thought about putting in Network Link or the Mozart platform into the record player, I mean, that's a total new game. That's a game changer if they do this.
Because to me, like if I were to do the turntable, the way I would do it, I would do it exactly like Mikey has with the BeoMaster in there, and then I already sold my converter, but I would put the BeoLink converter, hook that up into the NLML converter, so then when I press phono, it actually turns on the turntable, and the RCA's feed directly, or well, it's not even RCS they feed directly. Just the turntable feeds through the DIN, and everything is controlled. So even if I could have this on the gateway at this point as well.
But if you build in a core into a Beogram 4000X or 6000X, you should be able to use or utilize the USB on the core to activate some kind of start and stop on the pickup. You should be able to do this.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's not a big deal. And
even though if it was a little board, then they would have to I don't know, add maybe voltage converter. I don't know, because it's probably 12-volt DC motors that are running the platter and all that nonsense. Right?
It's pretty easy to do the start and stop command, which is what you need actually.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if they did this from USB on the core and build in a core into the Beogram, then we would talk about I mean, Bang & Olufsen would get so much promotion about this. Right now, they're only getting promotion because it's freaking expensive.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, that's not exactly.
They would be the first one to have a multi-room turntable.
Exactly. And if they did this, that would be
That's a game changer.
But
yes.
Don't they already have that with the Biosystems of old?
Well, but that's you gotta look at it from today's day and age. Like,
yeah,
not
I get
everybody's been around the B&O since the dawn of time and had all the shit.
Exactly. The whole thing about the 3 days of design was to Bang & Olufsen have these products that they can upgrade within time. They talked about the level. They only use 50% of the CPU in the level at the moment. They can expand everything in the moment.
Wow,
they
that's going to run really
Wi-Fi
hot
card,
then.
whatever. So it's just about, if they want to talk about being able to use their products into the new age, that would be a game changer.
I agree. I can understand, yeah, that's your dead uncle's freaking turntable with the Nixon X and all that nonsense, but you're not really gaining technically anything.
And the last thing is that when you deliver the turntable to the guys that has doing this for 20, 30, 40 years here in Denmark, they also provide you with a new pickup. But I don't think that if you pay the 5,000 euro, you don't get
There's
a new
no stylus, no.
Nope.
That's sad.
Yep.
Because for that money, they could have gone with something equivalent to MMC1 from the Soundsmith, because that's only
in my opinion,
$1,200.
It's not worth the money compared to. It's not worth getting the spa treatment compared to getting the back rub from all the dealers that has been doing this for years.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion.
Yeah, not even dealers. There's people that specialize outside of dealers in this sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, our friend Leo makes the oak covers very nicely. And I mean, you can order any color. I think here it's either light oak or walnut, isn't it?
Yeah, you don't get the cocaine.
Yeah.
I have the cocaine.
Which one is that?
The white one.
The whites. Oh. So like they're more focused on the bloody box than the damn turntable at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I would pay some money for the box the 4000C comes in. But
I wouldn't.
I mean, we said last week we'd make a humidor out of it.
I'd make a humidor out of it.
I would put it in the fire just to keep warm.
Fuck you.
I would actually,
Bang &
Olufsen, if you guys are watching, send me one and I will put it in the fireplace just to show that I will put it in the fireplace, because
that would be a disgrace, B&O. Send me one and I will cherish it till the end of times, and I will put my most precious cigars in it. So who's a better plea?
So should we try to make a deal? Who will get the box first?
Yeah, well, they're not gonna send it to me because the shipping's too expensive. I'll pay for the shipping, BNO. How about that? I'll give you a deal. I'll pay for the shipping if you send me the box, and I'll convert it to a humidor while
I'll pay for the
Henrik will
lighter.
chuck his in the fucking fire pit.
I'll pay for the lighter to light it up.
But don't get me wrong,
Terrible.
but is this whole new idea of refurbishing everything just an outflow of what they did with the 4000C?
Yes.
I just don't understand why, because they're so close. They're fucking teetering on just making the damn thing.
It's for the people that wanted the 4000C, didn't get their hands on them. Now they can buy one used at the used market, which upped the prices for all the 4000 series, which is crazy.
Yep.
And then they can send it to Bang & Olufsen and get a copy of the 4000C.
Yeah, but none of the aluminium parts get done as nicely as this.
No.
So if you have any scratches on your platter or whatever, you're just shit out of luck.
Yes.
That's just what it is. Yeah. I think they should just finally commit to building a multi-room Beogram, whatever that would be.
I don't agree. I don't
not?
agree because I don't think they should make a new one, because the whole thing about this is making refurbished stuff that you can use your Beogram, which is from the 70s, and you can get new life into it. So they just need to make like, let's get.
But
new
Henrik,
life
for
into it.
$5,000, that's basically a new turntable.
No,
Okay?
that's 2 new turntables.
But I'm talking.
You're
B&O's
forgetting the
terms,
B&O
right?
tax.
Like B&O tax and all. Like $5,000, that's a brand new Bang & Olufsen turntable to me. Like $10,000 for the 4000C, that's insanity. But
yeah,
you know, the only
USD.
thing that they could have made it more ridiculous and it just braided with that Beolit crap all over it, and then and put another 10 G's on
Oh, I
top.
would pay 8,000 if it was a Belucci edition. No, I totally understand why people want to refurbish their old Beograms, and I love the idea of it, and I'm all for it. But
Not at the price tag though.
I just need, I mean, they need to. What if you were able to push a button on the Beogram and you get Bang & Olufsen radio? I mean, that would be killer. So you could use it as a radio, Bang & Olufsen radio, which is on the Mozart platform, and you can play records on it. Multi-purpose.
Yeah.
I would very much like that. I'm kind of surprised that that either I'm mistaken, but if I look at the second-hand market, like the 5500, the 6500, the 7000, that market seems to be way bigger. I'm kind of surprised they didn't go with the whole refurb for those than this.
I think the reason is the wood.
That's where the refurbished dealers comes into place, because they will take the Beogram 1000 and upwards and do everything.
I don't know. I'm past the whole turntable era, as a number of times I said, but I think that at this point B&O is so damn close to just making their own that, you know, I don't know if the problem is or limitation is like, would you make it a direct drive, or would you still do it belt driven, or, you know, would it be on a suspension still? How much of engineering would have to go into it at this point of time versus, you know, how much money they can make off of it overall. But I think that if they made an actual new turntable, that it would sell.
Surely they have the design plans for like the Beogram 7000 still laying around, and they just have to redesign the arm for a new needle. And that's
From what I heard, the rumor back in yesteryears, the biggest mistake that B&O's ever made is that they actually destroyed all the drawings and whatever, or technical stuff for turntables out of fear the Japanese would take it, or somehow the patents would leak.
I would
I don't know
trade
if that's true.
my 4004 to Deezer for a 10-year Deezer plan instead of having the Beogram at this moment.
Oh God damn you, Don.
Thank you, Don. Don says Berluti and Control 4 forever.
No, that's terrible.
They're the absolute
that's
best.
a banhammer strike. That $10 ain't gonna save you, bro. Oh God. No, I just think that I don't know, like to each their own. That's where I'm gonna leave it. I would not pay the money for having a turntable. Yet again, I don't have justification in me even to pay 40-50 bucks for a record just to keep the music. That's
No, they are
4
very,
months of
very,
Deezer.
they're very expensive. And when you get the
Yes.
used one, most of them are scratched up. So
You can't go with the used record if you have a $10,000 record player. You're not
probably
gonna put, you know what I mean? Like you're not gonna like you don't buy your clothes in a secondhand shop, right? That's where you put yours.
Yep. Yeah, I totally agree, Willie. I
So-
think the record players is stupid too.
But you're gonna have one.
It's only Mikey that thinks this is amazing.
Not really. There's plenty of us that have 50s and 90s that absolutely want it. Like my dealer bought himself a 4000C, and he's still inundated with offers of people that wanted to buy for more than MSRP.
Do
Sell
you
it.
think, speaking of 90s and stuff, because I ordered the Halo remote in hopes that maybe one day, I'll be able to switch speaker groups in my 90s with it. But I think that's a pipe dream, isn't it?
It shouldn't be.
No, like directly to the 90s. Otherwise, like I could do it because now you can control the system 4, right? So I can actually do up and down volume on the Avant. So I was wondering, can you actually switch speaker groups or stand positions?
No. I don't think so.
Well, that's a disappointing $1,200 that just went in.
Can't collaborate much on that
But
at the moment.
I mean, the thing is, it's everything with that is still at the moment. Because don't forget that B&O earlier in the year said that a lot of this stuff is to be expected Q3, Q4. So there is still a lot to come, but if and when it'll come is always the question. We'll see.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna have the Halo, so because I already ordered it.
I mean, at least you can do source selection on your Avant. You can go.
And that's all what really matters to me, because I only have one source, which is YouTube, right? So, and volume
Which
control, I
color?
don't really care. Silver.
Okay.
I thought about the black one,
You should be happy that it's the silver one.
but apparently so. Hey.
When you have the dial, you on the black one, on the anthracite one, you can do like this on all the dials.
Oh no.
Yes.
So they forgot the bearing.
I don't know, something.
Mine moves a little bit, but you really have to pull on it.
No. The anthracite is like click 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 click
Clickety-clackety?
click click.
Oh, shiitake mushrooms.
Yeah.
No, I got the silver one.
Good job, Good job.
I
had
think
the gold
Willie,
one.
to take all aside, I think you will be happy with the BeoRemote Halo, and if you just wait a few weeks or a month, it will be very nice.
Dude, I've been waiting for long enough, so I'm not too worried at all. Can you
No.
control a moment with it, or no?
Nobody
hold
can
it?
control the moment.
Not even itself, actually. So yeah,
No.
fair enough.
You probably have a better chance controlling a Sound 5.
Yeah, that'd be cool if they had that part of like the B&O app, like in the iPhones, where you can actually browse the music, right through the old gateway in the BeoSound 5. That'd be
That
cool
would
if that
be
was
very cool.
if you could browse that on the Halo remote somehow.
Like click 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 click.
Oh, fucking Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, it would be amazing.
But I would, yeah, that would be fun. I wouldn't do it to scroll through the volume wheel because you'd wear out the bearings, but something of an interface-ish, like the BO6 used to be, where you can go to the letters of the albums, right? So then you can go like, or artists, like you go Depeche Mode, go D, and then scroll through however many you have. That'd be sweet. But yeah, the Halo's on the way, so I'll have something to, I guess,
Wait,
control
so
my
is
volume.
the black one available yet, or is it just available for order?
No, it's available.
Yeah, they have it in a Vancouver shop, but he never opened the package yet.
Yeah, okay, but well, sometimes whatever is available is available for order, and dealers have one, and that's
I
it.
have tried 2 different anthracite this weekend.
Okay.
Both of them.
Oops. But
Well,
yeah,
I mean, I know it's everything is bloody slow at the moment, and it's not exactly pleasant. And was it, if you order 18s now, it's like 6 months waiting period or something like that?
Actually, my dealer said it doesn't matter which pot you purchase at the store today, we will get it to you within 14 days. So that is quite bold.
That's not at all what my dealer said last week. I said, what if I want another pair of 18s? And he said, that's a fair few months.
And what I heard, that nobody can get the 28s. They are really, really like back ordering. And
I heard the exact opposite. My
Yep.
dealer said about 3 weeks.
Yep. And I've heard that they were really back ordering. And then I talked to my dealer and they said, well, you can get a pair with your home if you want to. And they have sold a bunch. And they had like 4 or 5 different pairs in the shop. I think 5.
I'm so close to ordering
The only
28s.
thing they didn't have was the gold tone.
and I'm not missing that at all. That's Eric's colors. It is, and he likes the gold.
Yeah, I know.
It's a fact.
Yeah, I know.
If you're pissed about it, or you can message me later, motherfucker. But I'm just speaking the truth.
If you're here, Eric, yeah.
Gold member.
Yeah, I don't care for the gold at all, personally. I think it's
What is this we're looking at now?
3 days of design.
3 days of design. So did somebody do mushrooms and stacked a bunch of weird glass pipes on? Or like, what is this?
This is what they do as a hobby in Denmark.
Y'all need to get outside more.
But it's shitty weather all the time.
I know, I've been there, and it's very, very terrible. But I think, yeah, you'll have less time on stacking weirdness together.
The first time I ever was in Denmark, which was also the last time, it was so gray. It was so weird. Like, you go over the border and like a few kilometers in, and it's like, everything's gray here. What's going on?
Just like these photos, man. Look at this. What is that?
I don't know.
They spaced it too. You can see the blocks are spaced with the little planks of wood. Because concrete sweats, you know.
Maybe in Denmark it does, if it's so, so damp. No.
Weird lamps. That's weird lamps. Interesting. So yeah, good for them. They had a hobby class. And there's a fire in the kitchen. Was that what it was?
Yeah, that's more or less.
Also art.
But B&O was present at 3 days of design thing, because you weren't there, didn't you, Henrik?
Yeah, I went to the Bang & Olufsen 3 days of design, and that was where Matt was talking about the level and how the flexibility of the level. And he talked about the refurbishment of the 4000 series. And
did they talk about making the grills?
I think we were like 6 people invited there, which was kind of crazy, but it was quite nice. The coffee was bad and the food was terrible, but the juice was very good, and the people was very, very nice, like very nice. So it was a good 1.5 hour or so in the showroom to show the new part of the showroom. I sent you a video, Mikey, about how the whole layout looked from the showroom. There is an ass on my picture here in pink pants.
Pink pants.
That's not it. That was from later that day, but that is from Unique Room.
I like that scissor chair.
It's like the front picture is either 2 doors which are green, or some pavement.
Yeah, that's the one I went to. Like this one, you mean?
Probably. Yeah. Nope.
No, this is
No?
green, isn't it? And pavements.
I think I sent it to you, didn't I? Let me check.
I don't know
I-
what that is.
There.
You mean this one?
Yes. So this is the inside of the new Bang & Olufsen store where they actually show it as rooms and not as a showing room.
Why
So-
do they put the fireplace in the middle?
Because they could.
Because
That's
they're North
terrible.
American.
Jesus Christ.
But the whole idea of
I like
showing
that, though.
off their products like in a living
real life
room
setting.
that is very, very cool in my opinion. And I have been that was shitty food. And I have been talking to Bang & Olufsen about this for so long because everybody is talking about the Beo Home. And when you want to watch a bathroom speaker, you don't want to listen to an M3 inside of a 4,000 square foot hall. You
No.
want it inside of a bathroom. So they should do like these small places. So this is the kitchen area, this is the lounge room, this is the cinema room, and it just makes so much more sense.
Henrik,
And,
I've done more deals, like huge deals, in my apartment by having people seeing how it all works than I've ever sold before when I actually ran a store.
I have dealers that sends people to my apartment to show off how Bang & Olufsen works in
Properly,
a normal
yeah.
day-to-day living
Yeah.
compared to how they can sell it in the stores in their own showrooms. And every time they come back to me and it says it makes so much more sense to showpiece it off
That's right.
in a working environment compared to having 5 speakers on the same wall.
Well, I've been doing it since 2016,
Yep.
and it works for me very well. Like I said, I've sold. I'm not talking about the cash and carry products and some dude that comes in, walks away with the big ass fucking A9 box and such. But if you talk, a few $100,000 involved projects, they all come from this apartment. They
Yeah.
all come from this apartment. They don't come from the store.
I mean,
Even
I have sold, and I don't get any revenue or anything from this, but I think I've sold like 7 to 10 pieces of 28s, about 10 50s, a few harmonies,
Mm.
a lot of 11s, a lot of eclipses, and maybe 20, 30, 40 shapes in my apartment.
Well,
Which
you
is
have 3 of them.
crazy. Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Have you added actually any tiles to your main shape since last time we spoke?
Can't talk about that at the moment. But maybe something will happen quite soon.
Good God, I love that project.
What? Which one? I was too busy being bullied here.
Henrik's shape, like it mysteriously possibly expands or goes smaller, but
Did you
you'll
get more tiles?
that's his NDA, but not with B&O, but with
My picture
somebody
is
else.
frozen.
Oh, fuck's sakes. Let's see the pictures. That's funny shit. And she doesn't notice anymore, I guess, because it's just so big.
Oh no, she just comes home and looks up and she's like,
Fuck me.
fuck.
I like it. Better ask for forgiveness than permission.
Yeah.
It's basically becoming the Great Wall of Denmark.
It's like the center stage of every concert.
So what's your ultimate number goal for that? The whole wall? Or till she snaps your neck, I guess.
I think that my number would be 16 or 20
That's not bad.
speakers.
Oh. That's fucked up.
Yes.
That's a lot of speakers.
You're
bro.
just preparing until you move to a bigger house.
Holy cow. That's what? Like you're gonna run 4 to 5 amps and shit in this thing, dude.
How else does that room get warm?
Well, right now, I have the shape in the dining room, and I have a pair of 28 in the kitchen.
Yeah, good. So you're
Yes.
keeping the 28?
In the kitchen?
Well, I'm not saying in the kitchen, but as a general statement.
I have been using the 28 as surround speakers for a while. Now they're in the kitchen doing some magic at the moment. It's working quite good. It's a very good supplement for the shape.
Uh-huh. That still has no answer to my question. Are you keeping them?
They are very, very pretty.
Okay. In case you need a price offset, in case she gets mad, I'll take your 12s.
No.
Okay. I was
Then I'll
just trying
use
to be
the
helpful.
12s in the hallway.
Put the 12s in the hallway. You already have a speaker in the hallway in the ceiling, don't you?
Well,
Yeah,
instead of a mirror.
but not in the other hallway.
Oh yeah, I guess you got more than one hallway.
Well, I don't mind. Good for you.
Sucks to be with all these hallways and shit.
How are you liking the Prestige Creator covers?
I mean, there's two things to this story.
Uh-huh.
First of all, let's take the bad first.
Uh-huh.
I hate him
Why's that?
because I need to get in touch with the Bang & Olufsen bespoke department to get a wooden cover for the Harmony, which is tuxedo black, to match the speaker.
Oh, so
And
technically
that
now
will
you hate
be-
the Harmony covers more
that
so than
will
the
be-
fives.
Yeah, that will be very, very expensive.
Uh-huh.
So I need new covers for the Harmony, and that is like crazy expensive if I need to get it into this bespoke department. But I need to get that done to match.
Thought about ordering them in England and have Prestige Creators do the same thing.
If he can do the same thing, I would do it in a jiffy. I mean, the amount of detail into those covers is crazy. So I wouldn't even glance an eye. I would just do it. I mean, it is precision work.
So okay, so that's the bad part about it. So what's the good part?
It looks amazing. It takes. I mean, the Beolab 5s is a design piece, and
Yes.
everybody thinks it is a design piece.
But this does change the speaker to awesome.
I have to say that there is one place, and that is that when you get to 2021 or into the 2010-ish era, the 5s is an old-looking speaker. I mean, it's still a design piece, but it doesn't match the Bang & Olufsen after the Beolab 18s.
It matches David Lewis's era of design.
Exactly. It's Lewis's old design, which I love, and I do love all his design. But this just takes the speaker into the whole new era of the speakers and the whole new era of the television, how they looks and stuff. And I'm gonna put out a assembling movie very soon, and I'm gonna do one in English as well. And everything is tucked together by magnets, which are very, very, very strong. And the cool thing is that when Hamilton is running around and throws like cars at the speakers, then
the speakers protected.
Rumble into the speakers go apart, and then you just take them and then they're back together, and it's just like, it's such a relief every time because it's just such a good handmade product, and it looks stellar. Even my wife thinks that the 5s looks good now.
So you're basically also saying that this is a David Lynch-proof design for young children.
I mean, my kid hasn't destroyed them yet. which is
because
quite
at some point Eric's white Beolab 5s are gonna have like a bunch of handprints, peanut butter and shit.
I
on them.
don't think so. I don't think so. I think that he's better behaved than that. I think it's.
I'm
more
not
or less that the
saying
other
it's
kids in the house-
Alphonse. It's probably gonna
It's
be
gonna be some
Alphonse's
other kid.
friends that like plays
Yeah.
football outside, comes home in the mud, does like, oh, need to take my shoes off.
I mean, talking about kids, I went to Esbjerg this weekend, and Hamilton was let loose in the store,
Mhm.
and I mean, there's products everywhere, and he went up to every product like, oh nope, I can't touch that, and then he went over to the next product, oh nope, I can't touch
That's
that,
good.
and then he saw the Beo remotes everywhere, and he went over, nope, that's daddy's, and then he went on. So that was very, very cool. But I do love him. I mean, Prestige creators have done an amazing job with this. I just love the looks of it. And I mean, I tell this in my video as well. I got this for free. I haven't paid a dime for it. And the idea was that I told him that I wanted to be able to tell what I feel about the product, and I would not lay a hand on it. And he was like, that's fine. And then he'll send it to me. And then I've been trying. I did the 28 versus the 5s on my channel as well. And I thought that they would rattle off or something, but I can't hear them. I can't. It's just
Solid.
precision work.
How do they come packaged? Do they actually are in the shape of a cone?
No, that is the most crazy thing. I had to cut out like 7 to 10 minutes of the video where I was unpacking stuff.
Oh, they overpacked like crazy.
They overpacked.
I thought
It's good though, because you know what, it's gonna get there in one piece.
Hang on, I have the box.
When I got the cover for my stage, I thought I could re-insulate my house with how well it was packaged. Like, I spent a good solid 10-15 minutes getting all this shit off of it.
Great. Wow. Nice.
This is the box.
That's a giant ass box.
He's not fucking around. He's using like actual duct tape and stuff to tape it.
Yeah.
Silver grade.
I mean,
Damn.
when I did the unboxing and installation for the stage, right, some people commented like, ooh, cut down on the packaging. And it's like, because of the environment and shit. And it's like, wait, but if you need to send it twice, surely that's worse.
Yeah, but they don't see that.
But I mean, it is overpacked. Like, over.
Good. I overpack my stuff when I send it on like eBay purchases and shit too, because it's not uncommon that it gets tossed. Actually, speaking of which, this is the first time that it's ever happened to me with Canpar. I sent a subwoofer Beolab 11 to get the chassis replaced again. Well, actually not on that one because they have two of them. And they threw it so fucking hard, dude, that they split the speaker in half. They actually cracked the chassis.
Of which speaker, sorry?
Beolab 11.
What?
They literally separated it, yeah. They fucked it right up. I had to buy a new cover for the client.
That's insane.
And where is it? I wonder if I have some.
But it is overpacked. Everything from the Prestige creators is overpacked.
Well, at least it comes in one place. But I'm sure if you...
See, that's the bottom.
Jesus.
Like it's literally separated. Didn't fuck up the driver, but...
I'm sure if you talk to them, they can stain a standard cover to the exact same black match. And then your harmony will match exactly to the covers of the 5.
How hard would it be for Prestige to make the cover for the harmony? Because you would literally just need to swap up the wood lamellas, right?
No,
Yeah.
but, well, you can also just stain it black.
Probably.
Because their covers are oak, and oak is then either stained, burnt, or whatever, whichever you choose. But if you have black, it's probably stained. So they can use the exact same stain and just re-lacquer it over it afterwards.
Yeah.
Because
Sure.
the panel for the Harmony is actual oak. It's not like the Eclipse.
No,
It's not MDF
it's not
nonsense.
MDF. It is actually oak.
Real
Yeah,
wood,
but
baby.
I do love them. I think they're great. If I had to do something different, as I said, I got these for free. I would probably have gotten those in smoked oak. Because the smoked oak, I think that would do a contrast to the black of the Beolab 5s, and it will match the floor very, very good in my apartment. And then I could get the smoked oak for the Harmony as well. And that is the only thing I can say about what I would have done differently.
Do you think Brian should get a pair of these for himself as well?
I know Brian, he commented on my video, and he really likes it too. And I do understand because it looks amazing. It does. I the problem is that I hate to talk nice about things I get for free, which is why Bang & Olufsen sometimes also have a big time on my channel, because some of them I haven't delivered the Explorer back. I don't
think they would want it back after what you did to it.
But I to be totally honest, when people does a good job, you need to say they do a good job. The Beolab 28s, I haven't got those for free. I haven't paid for them yet either, but they are a very, very good speaker. The covers for the 5s from Prestige Creators is very, very nice. And you can see that they're handmade, and I do appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so
Yeah.
Brian has a proposition. Change yours to smoked oak and send those to Brian.
Brian, buy the smoked oak, send them to me. I'll send the black ones to you.
Solved it.
There you go.
Done. Check.
Yeah.
He's got all the packaging still.
Yeah, I mean, you even kept the box semi-alive.
Brian, if you want to make a deal on the black ones, I will, of course, try to talk to Prestige Creators about the smoked oak editions, and then we will figure something out. So write me a text.
And there you go.
I mean, we can always solve it within the community.
Yes.
Yep.
Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to be part of the community and/or join and become a member. I'm getting better at this self-promotion. Eventually.
You just need a Pope hat now.
I will one day get it, yeah. They're just so... Oh, shit, now we're going to get demonetized, right? For the ass in the screen.
Yes, you are, because I did.
Well,
Really? Well,
it just looks so nice.
But I mean,
funny.
As I said, I do love them. I love the looks of it. It takes the speaker into the new century, and it does fit my whole apartment with speakers compared to. I mean, I love the design of the 5s, but it is. And now people will hate me and get very, very angry.
Well, it's a good update. It's a very nice modernizing.
It's way too Lewis compared to what I have in my apartment. Boom.
I like it.
Mic drop.
Yeah. I mean, they do give a whole new lease of life on the 5s. And I mean, there is a reason they're design icons. And honestly, when they were first launched, I didn't like them. Over time, I've started liking them. But my favorite is either the white ones, like Eric has, or like what you have now.
I would love to have the smoked oak instead of the black. And that is just my opinion. And maybe we can do some kind of a gisel with Brian. I don't know. I need to talk with Prestige first.
Yeah, they're in the chat now, finally.
And be sure that...
No Prestige.
Brian is on top of this as well. But I'll talk to Brian and I'll talk to Prestige, and if we can make a deal, that's fine. If we can't, that's also fine. I love the black oak on my Lab 5s compared to nothing. So I would rather keep them than get rid of them because my wife likes them, and that's the first time she likes the 5s.
Wait, she never
say.
liked the 5s?
Oh no, she fucking hate him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So what does she think of the 28s then? If she hates
she loves them.
So you'll be forced
All
to
about
keep them
the wood, man.
eventually.
It's all about the wood, baby. But I know I do like the look of them.
Maybe you've never asked, but what makes her like the 28s more than the 5s?
I think it's the whole design of the 28. She loves the 18s as well.
Sleek and slender, man. That's what it is. Where these are little obtuse in the house, especially without the skirts, like they do.
Also, I think the whole how much they fill up the room, it's probably some of it as well. But she likes it now with the covers on.
I'm amazed. Brian also said 5s always had bad wife or acceptance factor.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the UFO.
Yeah,
that's right.
Weirdly, here it was the other way around, like where 50s were more like, and 5s were like, oh, these are nice.
I still prefer the look of the 5s over the 50s, to be honest. To me, they're a little more interesting looking than the 50s, but to each their own, right?
Yeah, I get what you mean. It's just
Johnny, my wife thinks the 5s look too fat. They do look chunky on the bottom, like they do. It's just you gotta put those 15 inches of woofer somewhere. And I don't know. I like them. It was funny when I sold the last pair that I just sold. The guy, like first let's tune them, right? Because I'm not gonna have you listen to what they sound like. My room sounds like in your house. But I played him a little bit, and he goes, "Holy shit, they sound really good." I'm like, "No, we're tuning them now." So then tuned both speakers. He was like looking at the microphone going in and out and such. Then I played him again. He's like, "Holy fuck, that's a difference," and there is a difference.
When I went to the event this weekend, I met with a couple. The guy was following my YouTube channel, and his wife was like, "Oh, this is the guy that you watch all the time." And he was getting into the store to talk about the 28s because he have a pair of Lab 5s and he wanted a pair of 28. And we talked about the 28s, and then his wife was like, "Oh, look at those speakers down there. They're pretty." And it was the 50s. And then he said, "No, but I really want the 28." And she was like, "No, we're getting the 50s." And he was like, "But the 50s is twice as much. Let's get the 28." "No, I want the 50s." So they went out of the store with the 50s because the wife wanted the big speaker.
Good wife.
That happens very rarely.
Yes, I was surprisingly. I was surprised as well.
That happens very rarely. I don't think I've ever had that happen, actually. Oh no, I did once. But
it's rare enough if it's only once.
That's once in now 11 or 10 years that I've been doing VNO. Women always. If I was there earlier, I would have said it would have been twice, because I have a client that his wife absolutely adored Lab 5s, which is very, very rare.
I found the perfect table for Eric at your 3 days of design.
Yeah.
Oh god. It's all brass.
Who in chat would buy this besides Eric?
I would never. I have nothing that goes with it though, man. You know what I mean? If you have a house that's got all kinds of brass and shit, accents, then it'll look good.
But
I wouldn't get it. Yeah, if this was in silver, would you get it if it was all aluminum brushed?
Sooner, regardless, I don't like the shape of it in the
It looks like
set.
a fucking top hat with a glass on it.
Look at that carpet behind it, by the way, in that other room.
I haven't even gotten that far.
It's like a shape on the floor in bad colors.
In the original colors they introduced.
Yeah,
they were gonna go with something insane like blue, red, and yellow and
salmon,
whatever, which they would have sold like none of. But yeah, that's not my style at all. I like the chairs, but the table is just brutal. What's inside the middle of it?
The table, but I hate the chairs.
I'm gonna disconnect from this conversation.
I think the chairs look stupid.
They simple,
but I do like the table. I don't like the color and stuff, but I mean, if you had the interior to match that table, I mean, think about a Harmony in Gold Edition and a pair of 28 in Gold Edition. That would look stellar in this.
Yeah, dude. A little more of that talk, and I'll be going. Give me some Pepto-Bismol and shit. Make me sick to my stomach.
So is this every year in Denmark, that 3 days of design?
Yes.
Because this is more like a table for Willy.
I mean, I went to the guys that helps me out with different interior stuff in Copenhagen when I shoot videos called Unique Room. And they had the 3 days of design as well, where you can actually win. Do you remember the sheep chair?
I don't remember that at all.
The fluffy chair with the...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you could actually win that, and that is like 56,000 Danish kroner.
Which is how much? Like 14 bucks?
15 bucks. 15 and a half.
No, 56 Danish or 100, what is it? Like, so that chair probably is about 4 or 5 grand.
Where is it? Oh, it's...
Sure. No, it's 8,000 euros.
Holy moly.
Yeah. So I went to those guys' event as well, and it was very nice. I mean, they had some new Danish designers in the showroom, and the guy that does the fluffy chair is from Norway, called Eikeland, and it was an amazing event. They had barbecue, and I actually sent you a video, Mikey. They had barbecue, and they showpiece all the new tables they had from Danish designers, and all the new chairs and all this stuff. The Eikeland designer is from Norway, and he's taking old Danish design pieces and making them his own. And I mean, it's amazing. It was a crazy cool event, and they had a DJ as well, a Danish girl DJ, which is called Nicoline. She used to be a radio host, and it was just a very, very nice event.
Let me just...
It was actually the video you showed before.
Oh, okay.
And there you can see the chair that I used to have in the room with the prestige covers and the all the other things that was on the event. That was pretty that is and the original ones. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and, the inside out bison chair.
People got hammered. It was crazy cool.
Isn't that just a Danish thing to do?
Nah. We don't.
It's everywhere to do. If you got free booze and shit, dude, it's your duty to get fucking wrecked.
Not just drunk, wrecked. I think you're biased because you're Eastern European.
But you were actually able to win this chair as well, and it was a very cool event, and I was hoping to get one of the 5s with the Prestige Creators covers on them down there, because they had a spot for me instead of normal PA speakers for the DJ. We were going to play on the 5s, and then with the Prestige Creators covers on, but the moving company was way too expensive to move them down there. It was like, I think it was £1,000 which is like 1,200, 1,300 euros or so.
Bloody hell, you're better off
The
renting
fuck are
a
they
van.
carrying them on their backs over there or what?
The problem was I wouldn't carry them down from the 3rd floor and back up, and I wouldn't take the
You don't have an
insurance of
elevator
it.
in your room, right? Or in your building?
Come again?
Do you have an elevator in your building or
Yeah.
no? Oh, shiitake mushrooms. Yeah, I'd charge you $1,000 for that, bitch.
and that was the problem. But it would have been such a cool thing to showpiece the Beolab 5s with the Prestige Creators covers on them at the event, because the video that you showed before that I did, the first look of the Prestige Creators, was running on big screens around the facility and outside as well. So it would just have been such a crazy thing to have there.
But yeah. How do you not have an elevator? I'm still trying to get around this idea of not having a fucking elevator and you're on a 3rd floor.
You have knees.
Well, then you should have seen Bang & Olufsen when we decided to do a 90s test in my apartment.
Did they bring him up there, or you ever?
They were like, so how do we get into the elevator? You don't. You need to carry him up. So we haven't done it yet.
Dude, that would be such a fuck it card for me. Like, oh my god.
I
That'd
don't
be the
care if I
best
make
work-
money. I'm not selling these to you.
Yeah, you're not allowed to buy these till they move somewhere like ground level, because this is stupid.
Or one flight of stairs is fine.
Are you
but-
selling them, Willie?
No, not to you either. Fuck. No, I'm not selling my 90s. No way. I don't give a fuck how many noise complaints I get.
Yeah, so
doing it.
why were you nearly in jail yesterday? What was that all about?
So I'm sitting on the balcony, right? We went for our last supper with my friend, because she probably will have to get fucking vaxxed and whatever. And so we went, because they're locking everything down because COVID's back as of fucking Monday morning, 6 o'clock, whatever, when it shows up for shift again. So, 4th lockdown on coming. We're going for dinner. And I had a couple drinks, right? We're sitting, I made mojitos and shit. So it's not like we're drinking heavy liquor or alcohol, right? So, and then I get some pizza. And there's a huge construction going on out front of my apartment. Like overnight, they're digging fucking services, right? So like the whole road, everything's just a fucking fiasco. I couldn't even get into my apartment when I came back from wherever I was doing the errands. Anyways, so going back, and I decided I could get some pizza for the boys, right? Fucking figured, load up my good karma somehow. So I bought 2 boxes of pizzas, and I left it with the construction guys. They couldn't fucking believe it. That, like just random dude. They walked up to him like, you're the guys that said that you're going to be here for 14-hour shifts. Like, yeah. I'm like, here's 2 pizzas for you guys. Shut her down, have some pizza food, whatever. Go upstairs. It's fucking 10 o'clock at night. I had no idea that the curfew, I guess it's at 10. I thought it was under the impression that 11 o'clock is when you shut shit down. I was wrong. So I'm sitting on the balcony, having the speakers about 50, 55 maybe volume, but I have the preset, so they basically turn the image into the balcony. So they sound louder on the balcony than they sound inside the house. I'm sitting there, smoking a cigar. And this fucking Karen in the hipster garden there, fucking waving the phone, like trying to video my shit, right? I'm looking at her like, what the fuck you doing? And she spooked, right? Because I called her out. And, and there's a party next door, like in the other building, which there's like fucking ton of people. They're smoking outside, and it's just like hooting and hollering, like drunk people do it around 10:30 at night. And so whatever, and make nothing of it, and told her to fuck herself, and, leave it at that. And all of a sudden, I got a flashlight shining into my goddamn balcony from the downstairs. So I look over, this little Chinaman fucking security guard, fucking 3 foot fuck all, right? And he's blabbering. And I'm like, dude, I'm not fucking hillbilly. I'm not going to be yelling down the goddamn balcony. You have something to say? Come on upstairs. I'm sure you have an access. So lo and behold, a few minutes later, I'm going to fucking knock on the door. There's 2 Karens behind this little fucking gooker, right? And he's fucking getting off on me that, and that shit is loud. And I'm like, how loud? This is how loud it is right now, dude. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, mate? Like, there's people that are on the other side that are way louder than us, but apparently I'm the one that's causing the fucking problem here. I'm sitting on the balcony. I'm not even loud inside. Like, fuck off. And I just slammed the door.
Uh-huh.
And that was that. And then they fucked off.
And
I
then,
shot the video, sent it to my landlord as well, because I'm like, you got a fucking incoming complaint. I'm certain of it. But this time I backed myself up. And then I posted a video this morning of the fucking balcony where the barbecue is. It's all charred and burnt and shit. I don't know what the fuck they were doing in there. But I'm the asshole. Because I'm sitting on the fucking balcony at 10 o'clock at night, you know, having a cigar.
Fuck you, Willie.
It's such bullshit, like the Karenism. I'm just so tired of it. I got Karen twice this week, bro. I got Karen in a fucking elevator.
thinking you
For not
have
wearing
your-
a mask. I don't wear a mask. I don't wear masks anywhere. Say something to me, motherfucker. Do it. Like I'm over it. I'm over it. Like if you know.
Could we
The
get some
vaccinated or fear
background
unvaccinated,
music of
it's just-
convict music on in?
It's just
In the
it's a
stream?
fucking divide of people, man. It's a fucking divide of people.
Weirdly,
That's all it is.
it's not copyright free, so I actually may go to jail for putting it on.
What if I found some very good copyright music, like copyright free music, like Dead Man Walking and stuff?
So yeah, that is
I'm
that's
good
my
with that.
Saturday. But I just can't believe the audacity people fucking have nothing to do. And I think it's also the fact that people are so fucking stressed out of everything and pissed off at everything because now we're, you know, and it's unfortunately the same people that are asking for shit to be shut down that are crazy like that. Masked up, double vaxxed, and still no, we have to close everything down. What the fuck? Like, I'm to the restaurant I go, I've never seen a single case of shit in there, right? I haven't seen a fucking fist fight, let alone, you know, getting somebody sick. Not even seafood, not even that. Like, you can eat all that curly shrimp, whatever shit that fucking goes sideways underwater and you won't get sick. Yeah, I just, god damn it.
I hear your anger. Before anything else, B&O should watch this video. And it's Monsieur Pog in Belgium. And it has subtitles, so no worries if you don't speak French.
Why is he touching speakers and he's barefooted?
Wait, does he need to be insulated? Does he need to be wearing rubber soles?
No,
or
I'm just
something?
figuring, like, or first of all, why are you barefooted? And second of all, why are you touching the speaker?
Because
There's no
he's
need to touch it.
showing his whole gear off and stuff. So he's
Okay.
for people that don't know, he's taking covers off and that sort of shit.
Just to see that they're real. Okay, unpause.
Anyway,
Oh, what the hell is wrong with his drivers, dude?
I don't know.
They look
I have
either
a
dirty
question.
or something.
Is the middle pushed in?
That's what it looks like to me.
On all three. It ain't pushed in on mine, dude.
You'll probably get a notification of this, Monsieur Pog. Contact us and/or your dealer because that's not how it's supposed to be, unless you did
Unless
that
you had your-
yourself.
Kid doctor it for you.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's not good.
This is how we ship them, and then you need a vacuum cleaner to take out the
You can
driver.
suck the bubble
That's
up.
just normal. Jesus Christ.
Okay, unpause. Let's see more tragedy unfold.
That's not actually the tragedy. It was more that. So see, the side drivers are correct.
Yes,
He
that
must have
looks
bought him
right.
demos. Somebody fucked him up.
Well, he has two pair. He has 90s as rears as well.
So what? That's not an excuse to fucked up drivers.
I'm not saying it is an excuse.
He probably bought them because they were damn cheap. Like, look at the freaking the surround on that base driver. That looks damaged or like dirty or some fucking whatever. They probably try to clean it with some.
I doubt this dude buys anything on the cheap because everything he has is way too expensive.
Then he must have some really hateful installers that hate his shit because they would have just. Well, I don't understand how you would push those bubbles in on a $100,000 speaker. And look at the dust on it too. You see? That stripe never went away from the light. Like, it's not a light, it's just dust. Okay, anyways, so is that the guy with the 104?
No, he has the Harmony 88.
Okay.
But it's amazing actually that B&O has customers like this, and
Who's this dude?
Pog. It's I think if I'm not mistaken, he created a massive software company, and he was at the right time at the right place when the whole internet bubble thing went, and he survived it all. And then, if you're the one of the few left standing, then you're in the gold, right?
Yeah.
So he's decided, fuck it, I'm just gonna do all my hobbies because
You definitely have a pair of Belucci headphones.
earlier in
does.
the video he's showing headphones, and there's like 30 pairs of headphones there, and I think this is one of those dudes that is sort of like, fuck it, I can do this. I'm just gonna have my hobbies and my dreams come true from here on.
We've had few clients like that regardless of what the new product was, they auto-ordered it. Like, it's just, if the new TV's coming out, sign me in. I'll figure the fuck out where I'm gonna put it later. But that was before 2008 crash, when you could shovel money out of your driveway in Canada. And yeah, people were competing with like ridiculous fucking 17-inch Crestron touch panel was $25,000, and he had to have it because he went over his buddy's house. He had a 15-inch screen, which was a little cheaper.
I have one thing to say when we're on this picture.
You go for it.
I think that the closed edition of the 65 and the 77 looks better than the 88.
Yeah, I do too.
It looks way too crazy on the 88, in my opinion. I saw the 88 this weekend as well, and I liked it when it was up, but when it was closed, it doesn't get the right.
It doesn't hide enough screen.
Exactly, as it does on the 77 and the 65.
He's also got a projector that drops down before the screen.
Yes. However, he said in the video that he's basically, since he's got this TV, basically stopped using that.
What?
The projector. Because the 88 is so massive and puts out so much light that it's sort of like...
The projector just doesn't keep up.
No. But what he mostly was saying, amongst other things, is that... in his opinion, the speaker in the harmony doesn't keep up with the 90s. Which to an extent I think is true, but it is also a lot to do with settings. And I wonder if he's like some other people I've seen where they want to turn on all the drivers in the harmony instead of just the center line, so to say. Because to my personal feeling, if you put on the wide drivers for the left-right sort of as a center as well, you sort of diminish.
There is no center anymore. It sounds weird.
Yeah.
Also, that the full tone units that is on the side can comprehensive with the middle speaker.
No, they can't.
But on the other hand, a perfect setup is at 90, 90, 90, and that will never happen with the harmony. And yes, the harmony lacks a lot of power compared to the 90s, like a lot.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it would sound like a Harley Davidson going into a moped and then to a Harley Davidson again.
But if you think about it, though,
but it's
the
way
that
the way
that it's tuned, probably you wouldn't even know. Like, you wouldn't even need that center channel.
Yes, you would. I mean, it does. The harmony has the same toning as the 90s and the 50s and the 28. It's the same toning of this creamy sound, but it's still totally different when you go from the 90. And if you have like a spaceship going from left to right, it does sound like a big spaceship and then a big spaceship again. Of course, the true image processor does a lot here by moving a lot of air to the 90s compared to the harmony, but it still is not the same.
No,
It's
it's
close,
no.
but it's not the same. And I do understand what he's saying.
Yeah, but more predominantly, what I actually wanted to bring up is that if anybody of B&O is actually watching us, and you think we're critical, this video and this dude has over 1 million subscribers. You're so fucking lucky that you have customers like this. Because in this video, he basically tells you he bought all this shit and it was crap for a long time. But he sees it as a prestigious thing to own and therefore he'll live with it. Which is like, boy, are you lucky that you have a customer that buys 2 sets of 90s and a Harmony 88 and it's sort of like, it doesn't really work and software issues and shit. And he's like, well, whatever. I still love it. Because I bet you a lot of people in his position would have said, fuck you, B&O, never again.
Or return it all.
So it's also kind of a plea, like, please stop releasing shit before you've tested it in many different environments. If there's ever a speaker like a 90 again, for fuck's sake, bring it to Henrik's place or something, or bring it to mine. I don't care. It's just that you test it in the real world, not just in the acoustic halls and Factory 5 shit you have over there.
I agree. I think that more people should live with these products in the house, and maybe they do take them home, but then it's different to interact with the product that you bring home from work versus something that you actually own and you bought because you liked it. Okay, so there's a big difference, and I think that's a big disconnect also when it comes to critical thinking and also the big software disconnect and shit. That because the gear is proper, gear is fine, there is nothing wrong with it. Like with your 50s, there was nothing fucking wrong mechanically. They just had a crap software that ticked because whatever part of the driver was written wrong, and Bob's your uncle, right? And they just don't address it because it's only an anomaly on maybe some type of PCB boards that had that specific variant of a chip that was in it that this fucks it right up, and they wouldn't admit to it till now. We're 176 podcasts.
We still have a few customers in at least on the Danish BOTF forum that has to power recycle their 50s once in a while.
Have you come across, when we're speaking of faux pas, I guess, have you come across on the level that when you pick it up and all of a sudden just the play button is on and you cannot turn anything on? It happened to mine twice. And you literally have to hold the power button for 20 seconds to turn off the product completely. And then it resets, or you reboot it and it comes back, no problem. But I have had happened to me twice and to my client once, because they phoned me. I'm like, Willie, what the fuck? The product, it's not working. Like, it's just the play light is on.
I actually just turned the closed captions on and found it. Well, literally, in reality, there's a lot of technical issues. What else was he going to say? That it took months to fix, and B&O wasn't up to the task. So it's like, you're so goddamn lucky that you have customers that are willing to spend like 250 grand and go, fuck it, I'll wait for you.
No, it's £500,000 worth of tech, so he's got probably more than that in the house.
Yes. But all the other shit works.
Oh, this is the only thing he's got from B&O?
No, like all the other tech is laptops, massive PCs,
yeah.
cameras. Like, we can go back. He bought a new electric scooter that goes 90 kilometers an hour.
Holy shit, that's insane.
Yeah. So he does car videos, right? So he bought an Audi RS6 as his camera car because fuck it, why not? That's my camera car.
Sick. That's good times.
The BOTF channel just bought two of those.
I mean, this is his garage under the house, right? He has a mini Cooper GP that he literally flipped on the first day. He was driving around in his garden because you couldn't go anywhere, and he hit a ditch and he rolled it.
Nice.
But the funny thing is, if you watch this video, he was all excited, like, want to go see out my new ride? And he walks past all these cars, like an Aventador and a Ferrari and shit. And it's like, my electric scooter.
Oh my god.
I kind of like that.
Well, if you got all that, you probably don't have an electric scooter yet.
But the worst thing is, I know I can't compare closely to this guy, but it's actually the same with all my friends at the moment. It's like, so do you want to see my new car? And I show them the Smart because I'm so freaking in love with that little thing. And it's like, it's 0 to 60 miles per hour in 19.4 seconds. It's crazy fast. It's funny.
In a week and a half.
I've
Yeah, but you probably, like, what? You can run it on 2 shot glasses of gas.
I forgot to ask you, are you actually now going to retract your statements about Eric's white little Honda?
No. Nope. I tried it. I have tried it. And I went out to try the tampon just to be sure that what I was talking about was right, because I've only read about it. It has a turning radius, which is crazy, but it's still a stupid tampon. I mean, you can drive like 100 kilometers, maybe 120 on a good day, and then it will be out of electric. Oh, that's the Smart. I love it.
Is that yours?
See me rolling. And I tried the Honda thing.
Fuck, you're lucky the cyclist stopped. You would have totaled it.
I really don't like the Honda. I like the looks of it. And I like that you can flip the screen to the other side and stuff. That's very cool. If you have audio on that, that is the best video I've ever made. If you can put audio on it. I don't know if you can.
Nice to the neighbors today, all right? All right. Ah, you bitch! You be nice to the neighbors today, all right?
No.
All right.
No, but everybody else can hear it.
Jesus Christ.
That's funny. Well, yeah, I guess I have everything muted. Makes sense.
I love it.
So you're parking it basically like in a nobody spot.
See,
Right?
Brian has a Smart too.
Yeah. Where is this? Like, where are you parking this? Is it like an actual official stall?
This is like an underground basement where you can park all your cars, and then they had like this small place where you can park a mini car, and I mean, I did that.
Yeah, see that.
It looks
That is
amazing.
something.
Oh, by the way, Mr. Pog, you'll probably get a copyright thing in the YouTube. If you see this, and if you haven't skipped away yet, I can actually pull it back. You'll for sure get a notification. We need to talk about, first of all, your left front 90, and we may have to go over some settings, because you can probably make the harmony sound a lot better than you've set it up. And also, it's an issue when your speaker domes are pushed in.
Yeah, dude. That's terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible.
So, a great video, nonetheless. A fucking fabulous living room. Very jelly.
Yeah, but I think that, yeah, he should look into that. I don't understand how those speaker bubbles got pushed in. Or they just had a crazy party one day and somebody all fucked up and did it.
Yeah. I mean, the only other insane person that between us we know that has this sort of setup is your DJ friend. But he has it in a way smaller space.
Yes.
I mean, that, like, I already think this is kind of insane. I mean, this living room is quite big. It seems like it's 7 by 10 or something like that. But the space your DJ friend has it in is like, holy hell. Like, I'm amazed he still has eardrums. Then again, maybe he wears the ear thingies he uses for work while he watches TV.
You know what though? Like I don't listen to my music that loud anymore either. Interestingly enough, yesterday was the day that apparently, Karens were out, but I don't really blast the shit anymore. I don't know why. I just kind of grown out of it. But I also had the speakers for 5 years, so I kind of heard everything that I really wanted to hear on them. And there's not really that much new music that's coming out that is very interesting to begin with. So, but I still listen to them. I enjoy them every day. They still sound like nothing else. And like when I had the fives and I turned them on when Buddy was here to audition them, so I brought them into my living room and I turned them on and I listened to the fives versus the 90s, and I was just like, holy wow, that's it's unspeakable difference in how much better the resolution of sound is, the imaging, the whole bass presentation. Obviously, it doesn't fire downwards, so that's a big difference. But yeah,
I like fives, but they're sort of the sound of their era. The treble is a bit softer and creamier. The very lows are a bit more sort of smeary, but that's also because the enormous driver sort of keeps on going a bit. It's not.
I think if you push the fives, they sound much more linear than the 20s, 50s, and 90s.
I would disagree with you saying 90s
I think
don't
that
sound linear.
the 90s and the 50s and the 28s have this. No, not the 90s. The 50s and the 28 has this kind of a toning that is very, very nice for most people, but it doesn't. It's not what the. I mean, what if you put in a record, what that was supposed to sound like comes out of the fives and the 90s. But when you push it into the 28 and the 50s, they kind of sound like the same. They have the same toning.
To me, the 28 sound a bit more like the 90s than they do the 50s.
Oh, I don't agree. I think the 28 and the 50s sounds. This is gonna sound crazy, but maybe you guys can get on the same boat as me. But I think they sound creamy, like fluffy, nice.
Like marshmallows.
But when you get to the 90s and the 5, what you push in is going to push out.
To me, the 5s are a bit more like enormous pentas in a way. Not as the 80s sound, but the treble is sort of drops off, so it doesn't. It's not like one, so it never becomes shrill or harsh, right? Like that's not a thing 5s really do. 1s do that, but to me, if you ask 50s to become shrill, they'll like hurt your ears. 90s will do the same.
I don't agree.
I mean, I'm like this close to like ordering some, and then I'll do an A/B test, obviously.
The 28s?
Yeah.
I have done the A/B test on the 50s compared to the 28, and the 28 to the 20s, and the 50s to the 20s, and then to the 18s with the 19. And both the 28 and the 50s has this creamy, well-balanced, like you really want to listen to it music kind of thing. Where the 90s and the 5s is more like, we're gonna let you know if it sucks. It's kind. I don't know. It's kind of, maybe it's me that's crazy.
I think so.
Probably.
But then again, maybe I'm crazy and I'm telling you you're crazy, so I don't know. No,
I don't know. I don't. To me, Beolab 5s sound like an actual speaker, I guess. Where the 90s, the transparency on them is unbelievable. Like those speakers basically disappear into the space. That's what I like about the 90s, where you cannot achieve that with the 5s. 5s are always going to be present, and you can pinpoint where the sound is coming from.
Yes.
To me, if you have the 50s right, if you tune them properly and have them on a power link connection in, as in not WiSA, because that difference is massive.
Yep.
50s are almost so flat that they can be a bit dull.
No. 90s are flat. 50s are not. 50s are toned. Like
90s
a
are
lot.
flat. 90s are flatter. Sure, I'm not saying that. But if you compare 28s to 50s, like the 28s was sort of like ooh bass party, and 50s are like we could do with a bit more bass.
That is room compensation, but the 28 and the 50s sound alike. They have the same tone mapping.
I haven't been in front of both of those speakers long enough to judge them, but I can kind of agree with you on that because they would go. You can make something that sounds just as good as 90 because I don't think it's more or less possible within a small chassis like that, and B, I think that you still need to retain a certain level of eliteness, I guess you could call it, or prestige for your top of the line speaker. And I also think that it really depends, especially here in Canada or US, it really depends on what floor construction you have. The 28s will sound different on the concrete floor like mine versus a joist wood construction when they're actually breathing with the floor and pumping the bass and everything else is rattling too.
But the 28, the 50s, and the harmony still have the same tone mapping on the speakers.
Which makes sense. Because
and they
if you
do,
face
and
the,
they do,
if
and I have the papers and everything.
yeah, but if you face
same.
the fact they're not really pushing the 90s.
It's
at all.
just a matter of volume.
Yeah, but they don't push the 90s at all. They're more interested in
No.
showing the
And
50s
the 28 don't even compare to the 50s when you get up in volume, which is the same with harmony and
Of
vice
course.
versa and whatever. But it's still the same tone mapping that is on the speakers. So
But then again, like if you buy a
if you have the 50s and the 28, if you have like a car driving by at normal volume, it will sound the same when it drives by. And that is their new sound setup for their speakers.
or new sound profile, I guess.
Yep.
Hmm.
Fuck
That's
you,
fine.
Mikey.
I agree that the 90s wouldn't have it because that's an ultimate speaker and they built it based off of not what anybody in design says,
But-
it's what the acoustics dictate.
But when you push in the same the same music to the 28 and then you go to the 50s and you play at the same volume, you will notice the 50s has much more potential and it is a much better speaker. And the 50s is also a better speaker than the 5s. I mean, no comparison at all. It's like 5 times.
Have you tried that preset on the 50s to make them sound like Lab 5s?
Yes,
to see?
it's called.
Do they sound?
What was the name of it, Mikey? Can you
Beolab
remember?
5 preset.
No, they
Yeah.
called it something to begin with.
Party mode, maybe?
Party mode, yeah.
Yeah, I think.
And
that
then
was it.
it went to Beolab 50, Beolab 5s, but it doesn't compare to the 5s. I mean, the 50s is it's much better speaker than the 5s.
Well, they basically had to detune it a little bit in order to make it sound like a 5, I guess.
I mean, as you said before, Willie, when you sit and listen to music, you can listen to the 5s and it sounds amazing and you will get drawn by the music, but you can still pinpoint every speaker. But if you do it on the 5s, you will be drawn by the music, the tone mapping of the music, and you won't know where the speakers are.
On the 50s, you mean, yeah.
That's the difference. And the 50s is a lot better speaker than the 5. It is.
Well,
I mean,
but also
if
face the fact
the
it's-
party mode to me, it's fun, but the bass becomes so overpowering.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, if you look at the frequency curve, also in the app they give, it's like if this is 0, right? It basically goes like that down.
Yeah. But it's the same with the 5s. I mean, that is the same issue you have. I mean, the calibration of the 5 is not that.
Well, it only does it to 300 hertz.
It's not that good compared to the 5s. And I mean, the 5s has so much more CPU power than anything else. And if you take 28, let's calibrate one button, whoop, done. I mean, the 5s, you're like, okay, 3 hours later, am I done?
50s,
And
you mean?
I mean, it's not a comparison at all.
Well, you can make.
I'm not comparing speakers. I'm just comparing the tone mapping of the sound of the speakers.
No, I get it. I was just gonna say with the 50s, and that's the same with the 90s. You can make them sound so different on what you literally move around in your living
room.
Yeah.
I mean, initially I tuned them with the door to the hallway closed, and they sound totally different now when that door was open and retuned them. Like, there's way more bass, and the bass carries way further. It's to the point where when I opened that door and they started tuning themselves, that I had to cancel it, because then I had to open the bathroom door and the other bathroom door and then the bedroom doors, because all those doors started rattling.
And if you move like a meter behind you, the bass is gone, and if you move a meter back, then the bass is back. And that's the whole thing about calibration.
It's interesting magic. I like it. But yeah, I tuned my 90s. When I first tuned them, I tuned them with all the doors closed, and I kind of lived in this apartment that I would always have the doors closed, because my office was more or less a fucking disaster zone for storage of all kinds of B&O stuff. And when I got the white ones, I decided I'm just going to tune them with all the doors open. And then I also tuned them when I emptied out my office, because it made a difference too. You can actually hear it in the speaker. It's insane. They're so accurate, it's insane. Especially when you live with them for so long and you know what the room sounds like, and then you tune them again. It's interesting. It's very interesting how that. It's sweet. I like it. And there's nothing like it, essentially.
But to get back on the tone mapping of the 28 and the 50s, that is what I want to get back to this guy Puck. P-O-G?
Pog, yeah. P-O-G.
Yeah, to the 90s and the harmony, because I don't believe they have the same tone mapping.
That could very well be, but the harmony shouldn't be such a detraction that it's like so instantly noticeable.
I really have to disagree.
But no, but like the way you played with your settings, right? As soon as your Avant comes on, is it immediately like, oh, this is worse? Like immediately that obvious? Or is it if you have the settings just right that it's like, I notice something, but it's not so an immediate reaction of like, ugh.
I'm not talking about when it comes on. I'm talking about when you're watching a movie, and if you have a voice over here, and then the same voice go over here, and the same voice go over here, then it should be the same. I mean, the LCR of a cinema should be the same speaker. And Bang & Olufsen is trying to do the same tone mapping of all the speakers, which makes sense. So you can switch between speakers, and it will still be the same experience. But I don't think that you will get the same experience when you have the 90s as left and right.
No, I get that, but what surprises me and why to my mind, there's something weirdly set, is that maybe it's the way he says it, but it seems like it's so goddamn obvious that it's like, oh, I'd rather have this off.
Okay, then he has definitely tuned it wrong.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm thinking, because especially when fight on, bye dear leader.
See you, dude.
When you have the 90s that far apart, it's nice to have something in the middle, because it seems like between his left and right 90, it's like 6 meters. Like that's a bit too far apart to do that, to make them do that stereo thing that Willie does, right? When the center channel isn't on.
Mm-hmm.
Because that is literally something over there and something over there. And
it's too far.
Yeah.
That's too far apart.
Then his installer has done a very bad job.
Yeah, well, he also seems
told
like
him to put him in the corners, and that's the fucking end of it. Sometimes you just can't win that with a client.
he's also a technical guy, so I'm sure he'll be able to play with it himself. But why I think it was so jarring for me to hear anyway, because between the 50s and the harmony isn't really lacking. Yes, it's not as powerful, but it's not to the point where it's like an instant notice, because the true image does enough of a job with redirecting the bass and that sort of thing.
I agree.
mean, one
I
of
don't.
the first things
For
that came
me,
to my
if
mind.
I watch a movie with the Avant on, I'm okay. If I watch a movie with Avant off and then I turn on the Avant, I can't go back to that. It sounds so bad.
One of my
What did I do?
initial thoughts was, right, in the harmony, you can set how you want your channels to be used.
He has definitely set up his harmony wrong.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So because
I'm
you can
just-
choose like, do you want to up mix, down mix? Do you want it 1-to-1, or do you want to use true image? If you set
I'm
it to
just
1-to-1, it's going to sound crappier than true image.
I'm just saying that you're probably right that something is set up wrong in his harmony, but you can never get the same amount of volume and the same amount of clarity as you have in the 90s in your center channel, but you can get it pretty damn close.
Yeah. Oh no, that's kind of what like I'm aware of the deficit, obviously. Secondly, there's something wrong with his left 90 anyway, with all the thing he's pushed in.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
But in another line, he said when he takes the center channel out, he kind of loses the voices in the center, which is like.
But then it's also, is he watching Netflix, Disney Plus? Is he using streaming channels? Is he using Blu-rays, UHDs, whatever? I mean, there is a lot of things, and he should be on the channel, and we should like talk to him.
Yeah, oh, he's very welcome, obviously. But that just makes me think, if you take the center out and you lose the center voices, especially with 490s, then it seems to me that the true image isn't functioning properly, because it's not redirecting what the center would normally do to left and right.
To make a point on that, if I'm watching a YouTube without my center channel in speaker 4, I get vocals coming out of the 18s no matter what. I can't stop it. It is absolutely annoying. But
that is
that's
probably a stereo signal as well.
Yeah.
Maybe an AAC.
So I said I just put them in the speaker 5 and then it just does whatever.
And that's the thing. I mean, we have had a lot of people on a Danish channel as well, which has had, well, I have this in my back channels and whatever. And then you figure out that people are watching old VHS movies, and they're watching, I mean, Disney Plus and Netflix doesn't do a very good job of providing the information to the true image processor. But when you go to a fully equipped Blu-ray or UHD, then it's a game changer. I had, you guys remember the stick?
Mm-hmm.
I gave the stick. I gave him the stick to. I gave him a movie that it was very, very illegal. I gave him the possibility to stream I bought a UHD movie and put it on my server, and I gave him the ability to play it at home, and he played it at home, and he was like, because he had 5.0, and then he went to 7.0, and he thought it just sucks, it doesn't work. And then I gave him the ability to play one of my movies illegally, and he was just like, okay, this is a game changer. This doesn't compare at all to Netflix, Disney Plus, Apple TV Plus, whatever. This is just pure madness. I mean, my speakers just lifted up from the floor. It was a crazy experience. So if your source material doesn't compare to your speakers, then you are fucked.
Oh, that's for sure.
But
I've started
old
using
DVDs and all that. Yeah, it's like it really depends on the material or content.
I mean,
guess.
streaming is very nice and it's easy access to things, but it's not very good. It's better to rent the movies from Apple, like renting movies, because you get a better source material. It's not the best, but if you have a Blu-ray player, it's absolutely better than what you're into now. And I mean, if you have, I don't know about 20s because I hate 20s, but if you have 28 and upwards, 28, 5s, 50s, 90s, whatever, then if you have a Blu-ray player, play a Blu-ray because it will sound so much better.
Oh, that's for sure. Yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, when I stream from Netflix, I get 25 megabits per second. When I stream one of my Blu-rays or UHD, it's 80 megabits per second.
Wait, do you
I
have
mean,
do you have
whole
Netflix 4K?
yeah.
Okay. Because I sometimes get up to 80 with Netflix, and I'm always amazed.
Yeah, I do too, but then it goes down, and then it's just a buffering thing. And then when I watch the audio bit rate on my movies, it's almost a bit more than the 4K UHD stream on Netflix, which is like video and audio. The audio on the UHD is the same bit rate as the video and audio on Netflix. So you get so much more material when you stream a real UHD and Blu-rays.
Yeah, I've started using Plex for a lot of that to just get it around the house, and it's actually a lot better than YouTube or than Netflix.
If you use a Plex server, then if you have an Apple TV and a BeoVision, you should definitely use the app called Infuse. It is about €1 every month, but the thing about Infuse, I can write it in the chat. Infuse. It is an app on the Apple TV. But the thing about this app is that it will decrypt the Dolby Atmos, it will decrypt the DTS HD and the True HD, and it will deliver a PCM signal to the BeoVision, which all Bang & Olufsen products really likes. And then you will get like really bang for the buck. I mean, Plex is okay if you are new into this, but if you get the Infuse, it's gonna be a total new madness.
Yeah, I tried
It's
the
crazy.
Infuse, but the interface is so weird.
It sucks. The interface sucks. But
so does Plex now offer streaming, or is it just for your content that you have locally or stored on your hard drives?
You can get streaming. They have movies and TVs, but they suck.
But you could.
I've never had a Plex player, but my friends had it for decades
No, but
now.
we could give you access to our Plex servers, and you can stream off of our Plex servers.
Yeah, and what, 480p over the fucking internet?
No,
that I got here going on.
Your internet.
I can't give you access to mine because that will be too illegal.
I can give you access to mine. It's fine.
I don't care for it, to be honest with you.
Like my ISP never knows what IP I have anyway. Like every time I go, what's my IP? They never show me the correct place. Like ever.
But you got a VPN?
No. It's where I live. It's weird. We're like tapped off one of the main arteries for the country. So from here, it literally goes to every corner of the country, right? And it all sort of bundles up before it gets sent to Amsterdam. So
maybe I should move my server to your house.
Yeah. So 9 times out of 10, the closest I've gotten was 45 kilometers away.
Wow.
It's really weird, but then other times, right? It's like 150 kilometers away. Like
that's insane.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's strange. So for now, I don't really care for VPNs. I love the idea of VPNs, and if you're in a more static place, absolutely get one, because there's no need that people need to be snooping on your shit.
I mean, I have my Plex server, and it's only for my own Blu-rays and UHCs, and it works fine. I shared it with one person just to let him know that you're in for a treat. Just get the right material, and he was just like, it blew his mind. And I mean that's like normal day to day in my house, because that's what I see, that's what I hear when I'm using the True Image Processor. And when people says that the true image processor is not capable enough to do these kind of things, I mean, talk about Atmos, talk about blah 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 blah, whatever. It is more than capable of providing what you need.
But I think those people that think that also believe in sticker specs.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, it's like, yeah, I got
That almost has
Atmos
nothing
on
to
my
do with the
phone,
sound
but
at that
who
point, but
cares?
it's just, it has nothing to do with the sound at that point. It's about the specs. It's about how many fucking stickers are on your front face of your receiver at home.
Yeah.
Right? Because
Talking
it's all
about
that
that, it's
engraving.
in the title of the stream. I did a video about the Beolit 20, but that is beyond its specs. That actually gives somewhat of a Beolab 2 vibe with the bass it does. It's kind of nice. It's a nice product, except for the G charger. Dumb. I've mentioned what's in the title. Yes.
Right on at the fucking last minute.
Yeah, but
Nice.
that's just the thing, that people, it's more about the new buzzwords than actually things that
Makes
them
sense
happy.
and what's inside, yeah.
The absolute weird thing is we look at frequency range, or people in general look for frequency range and take that as truth, right? And then look at battery life and go, that's not true. And that's the only thing where B&O is so more accurate than everybody else. Like, actually, B&O is a bit too narrow on the frequency specs, because it does more than what it says on the bloody side. And then the battery is accurate and everybody's like, yeah. That can't be right.
So I was in the car driving when you guys were doing the podcast when you came back from the camping. Did your buddy end up getting that inflatable tent?
Oh yeah, he bought it. We are gonna use it on a camping trip.
Is it good, or did you guys use it? Or
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Oh shit! I was really interested in that. We're curious about it.
He bought it. He haven't packed it out yet. He just sent me a picture of it.
That's funny.
Anyway, I'm gonna call it because we're at that time. Thank you everybody for watching. Go like and subscribe if you haven't already done it. Also share the stream, Twitter, Facebook, that sort of thing. Strangers, friends, doesn't matter. It helps us out a lot. Send the bots in. It's fine. And also don't forget 100 likes and we'll get Kim Jong-Henrik.
No, 95 likes and Mike is going to pay for the refurbishment of my 4004.
95 likes. What happened to 175 when you get a Kim Jong-un haircut?
Yep, we'll do that too.
Anyway, links are in the description to all our stuff. Like, subscribe, become a member, and I'm going to roll the outro. Thank you for watching, everybody, and see you tomorrow on Twitch, by the way.
You bet.